Okay, so I'm super excited because I finally got it down. I took months to come up with this formula. And I've developed a new math system that is called Seductics. Right? Seductives is seduction math. And there are a lot of different formulas and a lot of different rules. But this is one of the first formulas that I feel good about because it took me a while to figure out what is a mathematical equation because I believe seduction is a formula. I think anybody can learn seduction if you learn it from the perspective of math or science. So check it out. Within seductives, this formula, um, it's this one is basically it's in the probability sector, right? And what happens is this. This is just an example, just to give you how these formulas are going to work, where the probability, P equals 1, parenthesis 1 minus P, parenthesis N squared. What this means is that the number of messages sent, if you're trying to get the probability of at least one reply, is X. And then if you're trying to get the probability of of at least one reply or at least at least one reply or one reply, right? There's a difference here because you can get at least one, meaning that it could be more, or you can get one and that's it, right? So there's probabilities between there, and then you can actually calculate even how many more you could get. But let's start just simple, right? So let's say you send out 5 messages, right? 5 text messages, and the variables got to be equal. So you send them to maybe someone you already know, and you have established a conversation before. So these aren't cold texts for people that you don't know, and these aren't people that hate you, that you know they're not going to reply to you. So we're talking about warm leads, we call them that, right? And you send 5, and it's Monday, and you send 5 messages. Now, obviously, the quality of the message is going to affect this, but let's just say they're just the perfect message to 5 people. What are the odds that one of those will reply? Because I can tell you, if you send one text message, that's about it. It's either 100 or 0. Your probability is really 50-50 if you think about maybe they'll reply, maybe they won't. But when you send 5, you actually increase your chances of getting more replies, right? It's just obvious that you send 5 messages, the probability of one of them responding is pretty big. Now, the probability of 2 of them responding, meaning 1 or more, is still big. Maybe not as big as 1, but 1 is always going to be the biggest, but there's still a probability, right? Now, check out how this works, right? Let's say that you send 10 messages. What do you just double your probability? You double your chances, right? So P equals 2, right? Now, what if you send 15, 20, right? So when you start looking at seduction, not from a linear perspective, and you actually start looking at the dimensions of this and the multipliers and all of this, you start looking at it from a data point. I mean, your chances of winning are much bigger because if you send 20 text messages, provided that all things being equal within the message and the recipient, meaning they're a warm lead, imagine your probabilities there. You're talking about to get one, you're in the 90s there. You should be. And you see how this increases? So this math, I'm excited because I developed an app called Seduction PRM. If you don't have it, it's in the App Store. Seduction PRM is a personal relationship manager. It's a contact manager, right? But what it does is it has AI. And I'm in the process of adding these formulas on there. So it's going to help you get probabilities of replies, probabilities of, you can go as silly as, your soulmate, right? So there's 8 billion people in the world. And then if you take into account certain factors, you can actually come up to a mathematical equation on what are the chances that you're going to meet out of 8 billion people, that one person that's meant for you, when they could live in another country, speak another language. They might have died young. There's so many factors, not to count that, let's say 4 billion are women, and let's say, 2 billion live near you. You start, the probability is insane that you're going to find your soulmate. So this is the math. This is the formula that within the app is going to help you not waste your time, because if the probability of a certain girl that you have on your app, the probability of her replying to you is, 20%, and then you have 3 other ones that the app suggests that, hey, these have an 80%, 40%, there's still higher percentages. Like, why waste your time with the 20? Now, if you're doing the sending 10 messages, then you can include the 20%, but you already know that your probability of getting a reply from that one particular person is low. Yet it's almost like a casino, right? You're playing the cards, and hopefully things change, and things sometimes do change, because probability is just that. Probability is not certain. And that's great, because that means that if you send 50 text messages, you're probably going to get one reply. Guaranteed. Well, not guaranteed, but pretty much. Now, there's other areas of probabilities that you should look into when it comes to seduction. Instead of taking your chances all into, putting your eggs in one basket, like you like that one girl, so you text her, and then you sit there waiting for her reply. And what you're doing is you're not playing the odds. You're playing against the odds. The odds that she's not going to reply to you. Now, if you add more text, and you might think, no, but I only want her, then this isn't the video for you. We're speaking of, if you're a smart person, you know that the more lottery tickets you play, the more chances you have of winning the lottery. So if you're looking to win the lottery, if you're looking for that one girl is your soulmate, or whatever it is that you think is going to happen, then you got to play more lottery tickets. It's not a bad thing, because that lottery ticket might be a losing ticket. And you already know, actually, you probably already know that lottery ticket didn't win. And you're still out there trying to check it in the machine to see if it won. It's just keep playing lottery tickets. And trust me, the winning number will come to you. So play the odds. So this is just an introduction of Seductics, because this is where in 100 years, our relationships are going to be created with data. We're going to find compatibility based on AI factors. And so you either embrace it and start understanding how these concepts work and use them to your advantage, or you get left behind. And the people that know how to use the data are going to run circles around you. And you're going to end up wishing that you took these steps now. So I'm going to leave it there, but make sure you download the Seduction PRM app. And I'm always open for feedback. It's a growing project. As you can see, I'm adding things that just don't exist in the real world right now. So thank you so much for this. And if you know someone that should watch this or wants to understand this or needs the app, make sure you share that. And I appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe as well.